Hey, train dealers. Hey, it's Friday afternoon. I'm driving and this is going to be a private video for just my train dealers, but I'm going to post it on the HVAC animated page. So, I want to talk about a topic that my wife and I were talking about a week or so ago. We were talking about if anything can kill the HVAC business or take a HVAC dealer down, besides poor financial management, obviously, underpricing, not making enough money, undercapitalized. Besides those things, those are obvious. Not doing a good job, being a crappy craftsman, all that. That's obvious. But what's not obvious, but very possible, is warranty. It's very possible that warranty could potentially be the death of many contractors in the future. Here's why I think that. Why we think that. Because, and many of you will remember back in the day when furnaces were made extremely robust. Gravity flow furnaces, lowboys, steel tanks that lasted 40 years. You've been replacing some of those over the last few years, no doubt. But air conditioning is pretty new. And if you're 20 years old, you wouldn't think that. If you're 30 years old, you might not think that, but you might agree. But if you've been around for a while, you realize the broader scope of things, air conditioning is pretty new. And couple that with the fact that technology is advancing extremely fast. So the systems that you're putting in today, oftentimes, not always, obviously, are replacing older systems, more robust systems, systems that may or may not have had proper duct design. And those old systems, those tanks that were built, just plow through anything, whether that duct was designed properly or not, and they just live for a long time. Those are no longer in existence. The equipment, no matter who the manufacturer is, and obviously, Trane, I believe, is a high quality product. Many of you believe that too, obviously, or you wouldn't be a Trane dealer. But those systems are designed with very specific specs. The computers and algorithms programmed in those boards are designed to operate under ideal conditions. That's why on your service plate, it says, total maximum static pressure, 0.5 inches of water. And they're much more sensitive to those factors. And going back in time, like where I was a minute ago, when you look at all those old systems put in that weren't as dialed into very specific tolerances to give the ideal efficiencies, ratings, and performance, we have that now. And what I'm getting at is, as time goes on, particularly if a customer is not doing maintenance, these systems will not have the life that they're promised. I don't care what brand it is. You already know this. If somebody's not doing maintenance, the life expectancy of that equipment drops significantly after 5 years, right? And then on top of that, if that system, that brand new system, dialed in, tested, and rated at specific conditions, ideal conditions of total static pressure of 0.5 inches, if it's installed into a duct system that puts strain and stress specifically because of airflow, you're going to see short lifespan on compressors, short lifespan on heat exchangers, short lifespan on components, short lifespan on inducer motors. You're going to see short lifespan on blowers in a way that you haven't experienced over the last, say, 20, 30, and some of you who may have been in business up to 40 years or more. Because today's modern day equipment is more refined. And I know a lot of dealers build into their price warranty. For example, you might put in your cost of your job and your margin, your overhead, maybe 5% of all revenue, and then bank that into a warranty account where you can then pull back from that to pay your guys when you go on warranty calls. But having said everything that I've said, I think it's really important today, because of the reasons that I just stated, for dealers to bank warranty, for dealers to initiate extended labor warranties on every job. Of course, this is my opinion. You may have other opinions. And I don't care if you install the job perfectly. You can install every installation perfectly. But that can't be the only thing you bank on for future warranty. Because unless you're designing every duct system, replacing every existing duct system to make the ideal conditions, perfectly balanced supply and return air, you are putting in a new wine in an old wineskin, and you cannot guarantee that that system is going to operate as promised and as tested in an old, under or improperly designed duct system. And the reality is not everyone wants to update their ducting. The reality is you don't want to do it because, number one, those jobs take long and they don't have as much profit in just a simple change-out. Therefore, we're going to go right back to my thesis. My thesis is that the long-term impact on HVAC contractors, the number one thing that can kill you is warranty, because of these reasons. And I've been talking about warranty with you guys for the last couple of weeks, talking about JB warranties, and for TCS dealers, you know that that's part of the spring promotion. But irregardless of the spring promotion, number one, it's a really good idea to include extended labor warranties with every sale, just to cover you in the future. Even if you buy the minimum, like say $85 an hour for the next 5 or 10 years, you're getting something. But as you know, inflation that we're already experiencing now is, an equation that's out of your control. And if you charge $100, $200, or $300 an hour for service, $85, what's that going to be in 10 years? This is why it could take a dealer down. If he ends up going back on warranty calls inside of 10 years, inflation pumps up 3-4% a year, and he's already charging on the low end, he's in trouble. Because every system he puts in, unless he's putting it in perfectly designed ducting, can have a lot of components with a short life. And I'm seeing this already for some dealers that were installing high dollar equipment 5 years ago. And of course the install can be bad, sure, that can always happen. But there really should be no reason that a compressor that lives 5 years dies suddenly in 5 years. The only thing that's going to cause that, because that startup was good, everything tests good, the only thing that's going to cause that is highly likely to be an undersized duct system that put far too much strain on that system. And for 5 years straight, it tried, but it ultimately failed. That's the example of the kind of failures without labor warranties can put a train dealer under. So I just urge you guys, not only does labor warranties add value to you as a company when you go and you're doing a sale, it can build value, it can differentiate you from other companies, but it can also save you in the future. One thing I've talked about in the past is having a bird's eye view, meeting with many dealers, and of course there's a wide range of perspectives. Dealers on how much they should charge, what their goals are, how much marketing, how little marketing, how much to spend. And I see quite a range of dealers that maybe spend a lot on marketing but aren't pricing high enough. I see dealers that spend a lot of marketing are pricing high enough. I see dealers that price way too low, and over the next decade, as these realities of warranty start impacting them, I think they could be in trouble. And I hope that you're not one of them. But I serve over 30 dealers, and I believe that there's a couple of them that could be impacted. So that's all I wanted to say, guys. I hope this has been helpful. I hope it's given you food for thought. Please, just consider JB Warranties. I'll include a phone number for our JB Warranty rep. You can get a hold of him, and just search JB Warranties in your emails. I've sent a couple different emails about the program. And so anyway, have a good weekend. That's all. Bye.